Thank you to Storyblocks for sponsoring this video.
Hey friends, welcome back. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Haley and I've been making videos on YouTube for the last almost 4 years now. In the past few years, I've purchased and borrowed various different cameras, but in today's video, I'm going to show you my top 3 main vlogging and camera gear that I've used to make over 300 videos on YouTube, and I know you can do it too. Let's begin with camera number 1. This was my first vlogging camera. Well, the iPhone 6, this is the 8. For my first travel vlog and the following 15 videos I made, I only used my iPhone 6. I didn't have any camera equipment at the time. I didn't even have a tripod. So my first 16 videos, I was either just holding my phone out selfie style, or I would prop my phone up using anything I had around me. I would stick my phone inside of a wired fence. I would prop this phone up on anything just so I could get a different angle. The hardest part in the beginning was just learning how to talk to my camera, so I didn't want to overwhelm myself with equipment and I just used what I had at the time. If you're thinking about starting a vlog, one of my biggest tips in general is to have a central idea of what your video is going to be about. And as you go about your day filming, make a note in your head or literally write notes into your phone notes app, or bullet points on a post-it, which is sometimes what I do, so that you can remember what you're going to talk about to your camera while also moving the main narrative of the video along. Using my phone in the beginning was super helpful because it's a simple camera and you can use it to, number one, get more comfortable talking to your camera in public, which is always awkward in the beginning, and it definitely is still sometimes. You can also get more comfortable taking B-roll shots with your phone and getting time lapses to really mix the footage up. The biggest advantage to using your smartphone is that it's super convenient. My phone is always with me, so if I feel like I need to get more shots, I can easily just use my phone. I can take it out, say a quick talking point, put it back in my pocket. I can share footage and photos instantly using AirDrop or messaging. The convenience of camera phones also allows you to edit the photos instantly on your phone. I know some creators on Instagram who only use their phone for photos and they can edit them immediately, upload them without waiting to go home and upload all of the files from the camera. So it's just really convenient to use your phone. And for the most part, as a beginning creator, it's got everything you need. Photo, video, zooms, can do time lapse, slow motion. So smartphone photographs and videos can be amazing, but obviously they're not as versatile as cameras. Let's now go into camera number 2, this camera right here, which is personally my secret weapon and how I made hundreds of vlogs.
My second camera and current main vlogging camera is the Canon G7X Mark II. Once I got a little bit more used to vlogging and getting footage, I decided to upgrade to this tried and true point and shoot. Let me take the cover off so you can see it better. I've used this as my main vlogging camera for the past 3.5 years now. If you're interested in vlogging or just making videos in general, this camera is a great starting point. Canon did release the G7X Mark III in 2019 with some remarkable upgrades that are definitely worth the purchase. The Mark III costs $699 compared to the Mark II at $499. The biggest upgrades to the Mark III are that it comes with an external mic jack, it shoots in 4K, and now the Mark III has the ability to shoot 120 frames per second, which is super slow motion. If you have the budget for the Mark III, I would say go for the Mark III over the Mark II because these latest additions on the Mark III make for an impressive all-in-one vlogging cam. So while I would like to upgrade to the Mark III, my Mark II still works great for me. It's small and compact, it fits in my pocket. Sometimes I'll carry it in my backpack side pocket and I can whip it out in no time. The camera screen flips up so I can make sure I'm getting my entire face in the shot while I'm talking. Sometimes it can feel like the camera is really close to my face even if I'm holding it with my arm all the way extended. It doesn't really show what's going on behind me, so that's where a tripod will come in handy. The one that I use and is probably the most popular of the vlogging tripods is the Joby GorillaPod. The Joby is a versatile tripod because you can adjust the camera framing and you can wrap it around pretty much anything if you want to makeshift a taller tripod. You can attach it somewhere to get a nice time lapse, to get extra B-roll footage.
There's something else I wanted to tell you guys that has really helped me in getting extra footage. It's a service called Storyblocks, which I only recently heard about from my friends Jimmy and Ta, who run the YouTube channel Divert Living. They told me about it when we traveled together around 6 months ago, and I've been using it since. Storyblocks is an incredible stock stock footage service. So sometimes when I'm filming a video and I come back and I realize I'm missing shots or I wasn't able to get certain shots, especially drone footage, because in some countries or some cities you need special permits to fly a drone. So if I wasn't able to get any cool drone footage, I can depend on Storyblocks, because fortunately a lot of amazing videographers have uploaded their footage for members to use. There's stock footage for any and every project, and the best part about it is that it's a monthly subscription, so you don't have to pay for individual clips. I can't tell you how much I love Storyblocks. I became a member at the beginning of this year, and I've used their stock footage for almost every video I've made in 2020. I love having an endless vault of B-roll footage available. Storyblocks has really become an essential tool in my storytelling arsenal, even before they reached out. So I was really excited to work with them. So thanks again, Storyblocks, for sponsoring this video. And if you are interested, please click the link in the description and you could get started using Storyblocks in your videos too.
One of the best features on this camera is the true optical image stabilization. This is so helpful when you're out walking around vlogging or taking videos, because you don't have to worry about having the shaky cam. Another excellent feature the G7X has is the quality of the image in low light. I've rarely had to think about the lighting when I'm vlogging with this camera because it captures so much light, whether you're in a dark room or outside at nighttime. Because this is a point and shoot, you obviously cannot change the lens. It's a slow zoom, but does zoom pretty far, and as you can see, it's able to capture the image well enough, but you do lose a bit of sharpness when it's zoomed all the way in. So now let's talk about the problems I have with this camera. This camera can trap a lot of dust in and around the lens, which can really mess the camera up. You can send it back to Canon to fix, but it takes minimum 1 month to fix and get it back. And sometimes it doesn't matter how well you take care of the camera. My first Mark II, like within weeks of purchasing it, I got this speck of black dust inside the lens, and you could see it on the video footage. The autofocus on this camera isn't the best. There are times when I have to tap to focus multiple times, so that can slow me down. Lastly, the audio is pretty good on this camera, unless you're outside in the wind, which becomes a problem because on the Mark II, there is no external mic jack.
Okay, we're gonna cross this hanging bridge right here. This is the only hanging bridge you gotta cross, so if you got a fear of hanging bridges, you just gotta do it one time. I'm walking down to the black sand beach here, out into the sand dunes. Where's our camel when you need one?
And I think this upgrade alone makes it worth spending the extra $200 for the Mark III, which does have the external mic jack, as well as 120 frames per second.
All right, now let's move into the third camera that I use. This is the biggest and the baddest. This is the top of the line camera with top of the line performance, the 1DX Mark II. I learned how to use this camera by traveling with other YouTubers who had this camera. So I got to play around with it and spend a lot of time with it way before I decided to make this purchase. This camera costs $6,000 for the body alone, just this piece. And then you have to purchase everything else separately, the batteries, the CFast memory card, the lens. It's a hefty camera that is built to last a long time.
I've taken this camera through multiple seasons and I haven't had any problems or malfunctions because this camera is the most weather sealed camera that Canon makes. So they're really made to handle any situation. The 1DX is nothing short of an amazing camera. It shoots incredible footage. I use this camera for all of my photos and for those beautiful cinematic shots in my travel videos. I do not use this camera as my vlogging camera because it's bulky and heavy, and personally from my content, when I speak to the camera, I don't need a beautiful cinematic shot of my face.
Earlier this year, Canon did release the 1DX Mark III, which the biggest difference is it has a little bit of a better image quality and increased autofocus detection, but personally for me, it's not worth the upgrade and I don't really see the difference between the two. The biggest problems I have with this camera is, first off, it's heavy as heck, it's not easy to travel with, and it's really expensive. But in this case, you get what you pay for.
With the Canon 1DX Mark II, you're paying for the best Canon DSLR with image resolution and colors that look insanely beautiful. The dynamic range is excellent. It's got high ISO performance, which is always top-notch, as is expected for a camera of this class, and the versatile autofocus and burst shooting performance for any type of environment. Whether you're traveling and moving, whether you're shooting wildlife, sports, photojournalism, the 1DX Mark II is currently the best of the best, in my opinion, when it comes to combining speed, performance, and and high ISO image quality for Canon.
I have gone back and forth reconsidering the weight of this camera, especially traveling with it. These days, the smaller cameras have an ever increasing performance and high resolution, especially mirrorless cameras, which seem to be an industry-wide favorite right now. And those come at a really affordable price. The best camera for vlogging really just depends on the content you create and your budget. But personally for me, the G7X Mark II right here is my go-to vlogging camera. And if you do have the budget to upgrade to the Mark III, I absolutely recommend you do that because of the mic, audio jack, and it shoots in 120 frames per second, which all in all makes for an extremely impressive compact camera that is highly capable of making beautiful videos. And that, my friends, is all of my main vlogging and camera equipment, my key items that I don't go anywhere without. If you guys have any questions about my gear or about vlogging, leave your questions and comments down below. Let me know what you think about this video, if you thought it was helpful, if there were other more technical things I could add. I just wanted this to be a general overview, especially for beginners and amateurs that don't really need to get into the weeds of the technicalities of these cameras. Let me know if this was helpful for you and if I should be doing more of these tech reviews. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.